Hello, we're back here at the Microsoft Build live stage. I'm checking Twitter, so use the hashtag MSBuild and also ak.ms, Microsoft Build Live. Now, I'm here with this special guest, Brian King. We've never actually chatted before. I'm so excited you're here. Tell us who you are and what you do.
Hi, I'm Brian King. I'm with the Bing Products Global Ecosystem team. We basically take all of the goodness and deep machine learning and AI capabilities of Bing, and we make those available to all our wonderful developers through APIs and SDKs.
Fantastic. So when we're talking about Bing AI, what is it that we're talking? Because I always think of Bing as a search engine, but you're telling me there's more than that.
Absolutely. So just in the few seconds there while we were doing our introduction, there were literally millions of updates to web documents and Twitter feeds and news feeds all around the world. So this is just this constant update of technology. So what we do is we make that information available to our developers through a set of services and cognitive services.
I see. So what are we talking about, though? When we're talking about because I mean, there's a ton of information.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit more about what can I access and how is it actually helpful?
No, that's great. So I'm sure many of our viewers, they use cognitive services today, and cognitive services is about democratizing those abilities of being able to see and hear and speak and seek information and make decisions on that information and bring those into our applications. Within Bing, we provide a series of APIs into that. So we provide the web search, the news, image, video, custom search capabilities, and visual search capabilities.
Let's get this on the screen because I don't think people realize that all of this stuff you actually do, not just search, right?
Yes, that's absolutely right. So we use search today. So you'd be forgiven for thinking that, hey, I'd use those APIs for creating search, and many companies do. So you have companies like Yahoo today, and you have Amazon Echo using us to do images on their search, and WhatsApp using images. And so many companies do use this for search today, but many other companies use this for additional things beyond that. So for example, we've got companies, we've got schools and companies doing plagiarism detection. I mean, helping students find the citations they were supposed to add, right?
Right.
Or you've got companies doing information verification or managing fraud or doing copyright management if they care about their images being distributed across the web.
So is this something that just big companies can use, or is this, because this seems actually interesting, if let's just say I'm building a new portal for a school, and you submit all your Word docs or papers online, I can use Bing to help me find?
Absolutely. No, any developer can use this, and that's the really great thing about cognitive services is anybody can just walk up, and you can even try it for free today, and you can try a lot of these capabilities. And it's how you put some of these capabilities together. Like, for example, reputation management might be about searching for your products on the web and bringing those in and looking at the news feeds and doing sentiment analysis on that and making your PR department happy because they can find bad things on the web without searching for it.
And that's pretty amazing because I'm just realizing, and I know I've done some videos with one of your colleagues, Mahesh, who's terrific at this stuff, but I started to realize that there is all of this information that you're helping us use, and it's all public information. It's not like
That's right.
It's not anything.
It's all publicly available information. Through our mapping components as well, we do things like address verification for credit card companies, and now we're getting into sort of visual product search with companies where you can use some of our custom visual search capabilities.
So this is the part that's interesting, right? Because you talked about. I understand when sentiment, text and Bing, and I hear text is coming in and someone said, hey, Seth really stinks on the Microsoft Build live stage and I want to know about it. That way I can send a smiley emoji or something if I want to be subversive, or a sad emoji if I want to tell them how I'm really feeling.
Yeah,
but you said custom visual search. Did I get that right?
Yeah. No, that's something that we haven't really talked about much before, and we have in private preview now. So let me talk a little bit about what visual search is, and then we should talk about it. So visual search, I mean, we have this saying, a picture speaks 1,000 queries.
Right.
And sometimes it's just really, really hard to express something. It's sort of like if I'm looking at this picture of this hammock, you're like, how do I describe that? Or I go into my friend's house, it's kind of like, oh, that's a cool chair. How do I describe that and search for it?
Right.
So sometimes using an image is a really great way to search for things. And visual search will allow you to search for things all across the web. So today, you might be a company that has copyrighted images and you want to find out, how are they being used across the web? So that's standard visual search. Custom visual search goes one step further, where we're sort of giving a sneak peek here at Build and here and now for the first time, where I can bring my own catalog of images and I can use that to search across just my catalog of images.
And like, what is it searching for? I mean, this is what's kind of interesting, because my brains are exploding right now. Like, is this an API that I give some images and things come back?
Yeah, so we will ingest your catalog, and you can now search across those set of images. So we take your catalog, we build that model around it, and now I can actually pass an image that I've never seen before, like somebody has taken with their camera. Say I'm selling furniture, and somebody takes a picture of a chair, and now I might find something that's visually similar. It's kind of like, oh, this is the style of chair you were looking for, so I don't need to know how to describe that style of chair.
Oh, okay. So now I think I'm understanding. Like, if I have a catalog of products, let's just say I build custom wooden flutes, bamboo flutes, because I mean, that's like
we know your secret